You are listening to the Tricorder Transmissions and 5-Year Mission, Episode 3. And now, here are Craig and Jeff.
Welcome to this week's installment of What Are Little Songs Made Of? Today's episode number 3, and we are going to be talking about the third track from the Year One album, and that would be Patrick's Charlie X. Once again, thanks to everyone for downloading and listening to the last 2 episodes. The number's been really good, and we've been getting some fantastic feedback on Facebook about these episodes so far, and we've been really excited to hear what everybody has to say about them, and it's been really great. And we're looking forward to putting more of these episodes out in the coming weeks and hearing what everybody has to say about them. So without any further ado, let's jump in with all 5 members of 5-Year Mission to talk about Charlie X. Something I was wondering right off the bat was there's some throwbacks to William Blake and Edgar Allan Poe in the lyrics. So I was wondering if you could expand a little bit on that.
Well, they're lifted wholesale from the episode. Actually, this was I think this was the first 5-Year Mission song I wrote. I wrote this one and Miri within, I think, a day of each other. I was very lucky because both of them had some things in the episodes that made good little song hooks. And in Charlie X, they actually perform, Spock and Uhura actually play a song in the episode. And so I kind of started listening to that. I listened to it several times and sort of figured out what the chords were and then changed it up a bit to suit what I was wanting to do with it. But I think other than that, the song probably started with the intro riff, which is a very surfy sounding, sort of a spy theme kind of thing, which the title Charlie X just seemed to evoke for me. And so it started from that and developed really naturally and really quickly. I think I wrote it in probably half an hour. And I've been doing sort of instrumental surf music now for about 15 years or so. And interestingly, since this is the Tricorder Transmissions, the first surf band I played in, the band was called Destination Earth, but our original name was the Tricorders.
Wow.
But yeah, that was pretty much where the song came from. And yeah, those a lot of the verse lyrics are just things that Spock is saying involuntarily in the episode.
What I remember about this song is that something that caused a decent amount of discussion was the line, practicing gay wrestling.
Yes, the gay wrestling controversy.
Because we were kind of concerned that people would take that the wrong way. I mean, it was written as...
It was really just poking fun at that scene in the episode. Yeah, well, how ridiculous it was.
And, in the 60s, gay didn't mean the same thing it does now.
Right.
And obviously, we weren't trying to be derogatory in any way.
Right.
And, but it was, something we discussed for a while. It's like, should we change this? Or,
Yeah.
But, ultimately, we just decided that it is what it is, and we were just going to let it go. And I don't think we've ever heard a word about it.
Yeah.
Negatively.
I think maybe people
positively.
just don't know the words, maybe.
Well, I mean, yeah.
This song does typify, when I'm writing a song, I always try to capture the mood of the song. And so that kind of, I think, works for this particular one. It's a very 60s sounding song.
The only thing that you could change it to that would be accurate would be homoerotic. And that just didn't fit in the...
You have to think about the meter.
The meter, the timing wasn't good on it.
Well, and then you also still have to answer the age-old questions. When is it appropriate to slap girls on the butt?
That's right.
which is my favorite line.
Well, no, my answer to one of our fans the other day that posted on our Facebook wall was, either when you're married or when you get permission, and getting permission is really awkward.
So, does this song make the live rotation often?
Not as much
It used to.
anymore.
Yeah, we at the beginning we definitely played it for a couple of years. I'd say solid. We were always playing it. We opened with it a few times.
Yeah, we played a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Nowadays, it's mostly by request.
Yeah.
We're supposed to play it for some birthday girl in February.
I think it's never. I mean,
Relearn it.
we do have songs that people request, and we all groan like, you know. But this Charlie X is not one of those songs.
No.
It is a song where like
Thanks.
somebody requests it, we're like, okay, let's just refresh ourselves and do it. I remember my memory of it was one of the first songs that I wrote bass for, and like I was always a guitar player. I'd really never played bass, and so I was proud of what I came up with because it was like the first one where I had to come up with a bass thing, and I
Did you play it on the recording?
yes.
This is one that he did play.
Yeah. Did you overdub?
I only corrected like 3 parts.
Of the 3 parts in the song.
When I first started doing it, I started to think like, oh gosh, the pressure's on. I don't know whether I can do that. I don't know whether I can play bass very well. And then by the end, I was like, okay, I think I can do this. I think I can manage.
I actually have a similar memory about Charlie X. Not that it was the first song that I ever wrote a guitar part for, but I was really proud of the guitar part that I wrote for the intro, so much so that I begged Patrick to add 4 bars before the second verse,
Right.
so that I could play it again an octave higher as a guitar solo.
Yeah. And it totally fit the mood of the song and the
Yeah.
sound style, so yeah.
Well, this song is a really good example of something that we realized something that didn't work when we got to recording, because I was at the end of the song, the last verse or the last chorus is where I do a high harmony, and I was doing that throughout the whole song. And when we got to recording, we ended up nixing that because it didn't really have a build, and it sounded really good with just Patrick. And then with that extra vocal all throughout, it didn't have the same punch as when we took it out throughout the song and just had it at the end. So it happens all the time that our songs get better when we record them because we figure out what works and what doesn't.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you can hear each and every individual piece instead of a big wall of sound in like a practice situation.
Well, the only other way we ever hear songs is while we're playing them, or when they're on a video or something with whatever sound we have in wherever we're playing, which
Half
is
the
not.
time we're paying so close attention to what we're doing that we're not really listening
Exactly.
to everyone else.
So it's breaking these things down, and we don't have the luxury of recording as organically as we'd like. We can't all be in a studio and record everything at the same time. We just don't have the kind of equipment or that would be required to do that. But when we have everything broken down, we have that advantage of being able to really hear things. We can isolate
whether they work or not.
isolate one thing and find out what's best for the song.
Pretty cool. So, guys, any closing thoughts on Charlie X?
I'm doing that thing with my eyes right now.
Xing.
Xing.
Yeah.
Xing.
We're gonna call it Xing.
Xing? Okay.
Yeah.
Which one of us has been transported into an alternate dimension?
The both of yes.
Oh, episode over. And that about wraps it up for this week's installment of What Are Little Songs Made Of? Thank you once again to everyone who has downloaded and listened to this episode. We're so happy that you're here with us to join in and listen to the backstories on a lot of these songs from 5-Year Mission. It's been a very great journey so far. And thanks a lot to everyone who has recently liked our Tricorder Transmissions page. We've seen a big influx of likes lately, and we're really happy to have all of you on board, and it's great to have you all linking up on social media. So once again, thanks for that, and we will see you next week for our 4th installment.
Charlie